in lieu of using a cartridge. A converter allows you to take ink directly from a bottle instead of using a cartridge. The first pen we'll do is a Lamy Brilliant Accent fountain pen. The first thing you would do is take the cap off and unscrew the barrel of the pen. Try and be careful not to damage the nib. This pen has a Lamy ink cartridge refill in it. In order to change it, you very gently pull off the cartridge, and in Lamy there are 3 different types of converters. You'll notice this converter does not have any screws on the nipple end. So you take the converter and you very gently seat it like that, and just pull it a little bit to make sure it's nice and tightly seated. To fill a converter, you essentially are going to put this in the ink bottle and then fill it, expel it 3/4 of the way, fill it again, expel it half of the way, and then fill it to the top. When you've done that for the 3rd time, you're going to expel 3 drops of ink. The reason being is that ink flows through the pen mechanism by displacing the air. If you fill the converter to the tippy top up here, there will be no room for the air to displace the ink, and you will not get a flow. So I'll demonstrate right now. We're going to put it in, push the plunger down, we're going to bring it up all the way, and then we're going to expel it about half. Then we're going to fill it again, and you'll notice it fills a little more. We're going to expel about 1/3, and then the last time we bring it right up. Then you're going to expel 1, 2, 3 drops, and then pull it back up to the top, and you'll notice that there are no air bubbles in here. You really don't want to get any air bubbles. You take a soft piece of Kleenex or paper towel, and then you gently wipe the nib unit, put it back into the fountain pen, cap it if you like, and then it's all set to write. Please remember that when you're using ink in a pen, it's strongly recommended that you empty and flush your pen with cool water only about once a month. And to do that, what you would do is you would expel all of the ink, and then you would put this in a jar of cool water and fill and expel the ink until only clear water goes in here. Then you're assured of a good, strong ink flow by having all of the channels in the pen nice and clean. This is converter number 1. If we go to the second type of converter, this converter fits the Lamy accent, the Lamy logo, and the Lamy Dialogue 3 fountain pen.
Which converter was that? We can edit this, don't we?
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. That's okay. This converter that we just used without the threads on the bottom is called the Z26. The converter that's very rarely used today, you'll notice, has threads at the nipple end. That's the Z25. That's used in the older model of the Persona and some of the older model fountain pens. The third type of converter we have is the Z is the Z24 converter. The Z24 fits in all of the Safari, the Joy, and the All-Star pens. We're going to change the ink cartridge on a Lamy Vista fountain pen. You'll notice that on this pen and on this converter there are two little posts on the converter barrel. These posts lock into the fountain pen, and while there are 4 slots on this, you want the very tiny slots that allow the converter to lock in. When changing the converter on the Safari, All-Star, Joy, you'll do the same mechanism. You put it in the ink bottle, you fill it, expel it 3/4 of the way, fill it, expel it 1/3 of the way, and fill it one last time. You'll notice that there are no air bubbles in the airspace that you can see through the clear plastic. You really don't want to get bubbles in here. You then take it and you do the same thing. You expel 3 drops, crank the converter back up to the top, wipe it off with a soft cloth, install the barrel, and then we're ready to write again. The same maintenance should be done on the Safari